This is an order to aid an investigation involving the Smith, James, and Sims children. Ms. Wildman is with us for the department. The mother, Carly Nivens, is not with us. The two fathers, Joshua Sims and Dwayne Smith, are not with us. I show Dwayne Smith is incarcerated in federal prison in Colorado. Mr. Sims, who's the father to Kylie and Kinsley, is not with us, nor, as I said, nor is the mother, Carly Nivens. Case was set for 9 o'clock. It's now 9:10. We will proceed in their absence. I have Vanessa Reynoso and Mel Tucker in the waiting room.
Vanessa is the investigator, and I believe Mel is probably covering for the hearing.
Okay.
And Judge, we did not try to serve the father who's incarcerated for this because he doesn't have possession of the children. Mr. Sims, we've attempted to serve but have not located. Miss Nivens, however, was served. We would ask that Mr. Sims be, I guess, dismissed from the case so that we can move forward. We have him as residing in the home, Judge, but if you'll take judicial notice of our last case involving the family and the Roberson removal, he has been difficult to locate and serve and to tie down to any one address. And so I think the purposes of the order to aid would be served by having served the mother and ordering her to do the services, considering she has consistently had primary possession of all 4 of the children during all of our involvement.
All right. I'll be happy to dismiss Mr. Sims. I won't be ordering any services for her because that's not what the order to aid asks for. So, okay. All right. Then I will go ahead and order that Joshua Sims be dismissed from this lawsuit.
And then, Your Honor, we would, the department would then call Ms. Reynoso.
Okay. Ms. Reynoso, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. If you'd raise your right hand. Do you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Wildman.
Thank you, Judge. Before I begin asking questions, we would also like to ask that you take judicial notice of the prior OTP in 87023L1, which began in August 2025 and was dismissed in November 2025. The order wasn't signed until December, but the case was dismissed at that last hearing. And just take judicial notice that in that case, the department had attempted to engage Miss Nivens and Mr. Smith or Sims in services, but they did not cooperate or complete those services. Ultimately, that case was dismissed because the department was able to at least have some contact with the children. And I believe it was testified by the family-based worker that at that time they couldn't give a concrete reason to believe that the children were in continuing danger, even that non-cooperation. And so,
so noted.
Thank you, Judge. And Ms. Reynoso, if you would please tell us, how are you currently employed?
I'm an investigator for the Department of Family and Protective Services.
And how did you become involved with the Nivens family?
I was assigned the case, and I was the investigator that made contact with the family.
When did you receive a new intake related to the family?
This would have been, I believe, December 30th.
Okay. And what was the nature of that intake?
There were concerns with the 12-year-old caring for the children on her own without Carly being present. There were also concerns that Carly had substance abuse issues, and that's why she wasn't present. Additional concerns with the younger children and the physical health of the younger children, but also concerns with degrading language, physical abuse of all the children. And then there was a sex abuse allegation concern by an unknown for one of the female daughters.
All right. And as part of your investigation, I guess when you first started trying to make contact with the family, where did you go?
I went to the home.
And is that the residence there on Ong Street?
Yes, that is correct.
And were you successful in making contact?
Initially, no, but then I left from the home and I received a phone call from her. So she received the card I left on the door. And then I was able to make actual contact.
How did she respond to you reaching out?
Her response was very aggressive. She wanted to know what I was placing a card on her door for, um, what the allegations were, what the CPS case was. She said that she just recently had a case closed and that she was not effing doing this again. It was a lot of foul language, very aggressive, not wanting to cooperate. I explained to her that it had nothing to do with her previous case, that this was a new intake, and she agreed to allow me to see the children, but not interview the children. And she said, if you come right now, I'll let you see them. And so I went to the home. She was gathering them out onto the porch, still yelling, screaming, cussing. And so I took what I could at that time where I was able to see the children.
And were you able to get any information from her or the children at that time?
No.
Did she let you take photographs at least?
Yes.
Um,
The didn't want to take a photograph, and so she responded that she wasn't going to make him. I didn't make him either, but I was able to lay eyes on him.
now, based off of that brief contact, were you able to follow up on any of those allegations with Miss Nivens or the children at that time?
No.
And were you allowed in the home to see whether or not you could see any physical signs of any of the abuse or substance use or anything like that?
No, she was very adamant that I was not going to be allowed to enter the home.
All right. And um, did you talk to her about cooperating with CPS or cooperating about the investigation at all? After that,
Yes, and after that, no. Just that day was that was the entirety of our conversation.
did you recall whether or not she said anything about getting a court order?
Yes, she told, because of the case that she had recently had that had the court order dismissed, she said, go ahead and get another court order if that's what you feel that you need to do, because it was effing dismissed. I'm not effing doing this again. And so it kind of was just, she was telling me to leave, get off her porch and get a court order if that's what I needed to do.
And from your understanding, from having reviewed the case history, had she done anything in the last case to your knowledge as far as services or anything like that?
To my knowledge, she has a pattern of not cooperating, and that was, I believe, why the order was granted in the last case. However, the very next court date, it was dismissed, and so no services were completed in that FBSS case.
All right. And so, were you ever at any point able to make contact with Mr. Sims?
No,
And did you attempt to make contact with him?
I did, and it's unknown to me if the phone number that I have for him, if that is current contact information.
And then is it fair to say that at this point, as part of this investigation, you hadn't yet had a real reason to reach out to the Smith father?
Correct.
And from your understanding, he is in federal prison, as the judge announced earlier, correct?
Correct.
Now, based off of the history, and let me ask you, so is there a medical neglect concern as part of this intake as well?
I do believe with Killian, the young boy was having some hospitalization for some E. coli. I From the way the reporter made the intake, it seems that he did receive medical care. So if any follow-up care has happened, I don't know anything about that. So it's very hard to say that definitively.
And was the allegation that the E. coli and I guess infections were due to improper care by the older sibling?
Yes.
And is the allegation because the mother was not there providing the care that was necessary initially?
Yes, that is correct.
And have you been able to access the medical records to confirm anything or to see what was reported to the medical facilities?
No, I have not.
Um, based off of that lack of ability to talk to the children or get into the home, do you have good cause to believe that the children may be in imminent danger of being subjected to aggravated circumstances such as sexual abuse in that home?
Yes, ma'am. I do.
And regardless of that, do you also believe that it would be necessary to talk to the children, interview the children, and gain access to the home to protect them from abuse or neglect?
Yes.
Similarly, as far as reviewing medical information, do you believe that it would be necessary to get records or have examinations completed of the children to further protect them from abuse and neglect?
Yes.
And as far as what you're asking for in the petition, are you asking that the court order that the department is able to enter the home of the children or school of the children for the purpose of interview, examination, and investigation?
Yes, that is correct.
Are you asking that the court enter an order that you be able to transport the children for an interview or examination?
Yes, that is correct.
And are you asking for court orders to obtain prior medical, psychological, or psychiatric records, or have examinations completed for all of the children?
Yes, that is correct.
And do you believe that those are all necessary steps to complete your investigation and to safeguard the children from further abuse or neglect?
Yes, I believe so.
And to confirm that abuse and neglect have occurred?
Yes.
All right. And as far as the history that you've talked about, does the history with this family go back pretty far, back to September of 2016 from your understanding?
Yes, that is correct.
And does that further give you reason to be concerned about ongoing abuse and neglect to the children?
Yes, it does.
And similarly, that lack of cooperation in the last cases that give you reason to believe that there's a good need to investigate these allegations further?
Yes, it does.
All right, Judge, I don't think I have any further questions.
All right. Anything else from the department then?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then. I will go ahead. I will grant the department's petition for order to aid in investigation. I'll order the relief requested in the department's petition, and I will sign that order when it's presented.
Thank you, Judge.
Can somebody tell me why we allotted an hour for an order to aid?
I'm not sure, Judge. I think if they had appeared, I think it could have been a much more contentious hearing based off of past experiences.
Okay, well, I'm gonna start reviewing these allotted time periods before we set the dockets, because we wasted a lot of time this way. So, okay, I'll be back at 10 o'clock because we've got a big break here. I'll be back at 10 o'clock to call a motion to participate involving the Wrinkle child. So, see some of you back at 10 o'clock. Y'all have a good week. This is a motion to participate involving the Wrinkle child. Ms. Gutierrez is with us for the department. Ms. Wiggins is with us representing the child. Mr. Hill is with us representing the father, Michael Wrinkle, who's with us. Ms. Archer is with us representing the mother, Deanna Wrinkle, who is with us. I have Angelica Taylor in the waiting room. That's my only person in the waiting room.
That's my worker, Your Honor. If she could be brought in, please.
Okay. Okay, that clears out our waiting room. Ms. Gutierrez, we're ready to proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Jeff and Natalie, I assume we're having a contested hearing, but please let me know if that's not correct.
My client is agreeable to working services.
Mr. Hill, you need to talk to your client in a breakout room, or?
Yeah, please, Judge.
Okay.
And Jeff, just to let you know, we are asking for supervised visitation for Mr. Wrinkle that would be supervised by the department. That's what we plan to ask the court for today.
All right.
Judge, there's no need for the breakout room. Mr. Wrinkle does not agree to work services.
Okay. All right. Let's get going then.
Thank you, Your Honor. The department calls Angelica Taylor as its witness.
Okay. Ms. Taylor, if you'd unmute. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Raise your right hand. You swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, I do.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Gutierrez.
Thank you, Your Honor. Angelica, who do you work for?
The Texas Department of Family and Protective Services.
And what do you do for them?
I'm an investigator.
And have you been assigned to the Wrinkle family for an investigation?
Yes, I have.
And is the child Haley Grace Wrinkle?
Yes.
And is her date of birth July 17th of 2011?
Yes.
And is the mother Deanna Wrinkle?
Yes.
And is the father Michael Wrinkle?
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Taylor. And it appears that the department received an intake on December 14th of 2025. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Can you please tell us in detail what those intake allegations were?
So our report came in regarding an physical altercation that was alleged to have occurred between Mr. and Mrs. Wrinkle with Haley present.
Okay, and what were the details of that allegation as far as the physical fight?
So it was alleged that they were at Haley's volleyball game in which Mr. Wrinkle punched Miss Wrinkle, and in the process of doing so, hit Haley.
And was there a second intake as well on the family?
Yes.
And what were the details of that second intake?
So then the second report was regarding Haley attempting to go to a different location at Amarillo College for her volleyball game. Mr. Wrinkle was not okay with it. So in the process of trying to get in the car, Mr. Wrinkle pushed Miss Wrinkle down.
Okay. And following that, did you make contact with Ms. Wrinkle and Haley Wrinkle at school on December 17th of 2025?
Yes.
And what did Ms. Wrinkle state about the intake allegations?
So she had stated that they were at Haley's volleyball game over the weekend, and they were on the court. Mr. Wrinkle was pretty upset that Miss Wrinkle's friend was
Judge,
at the
I'm
game.
gonna object at this point to hearsay. They can put the witness on to testify if they want, but this is hearsay.
Is it, Ms. Taylor, you're testifying to, who told you what you were testifying to?
Miss Wrinkle.
Overrule. You can go ahead, Ms. Taylor.
So they were at the game, they were talking on the court, they were arguing. Miss Wrinkle put up her hands, kind of like she was talking. Mr. Wrinkle, like, I guess, pushed her arm down, and in the process hit Haley in the chest.
Now going back to the beginning of your conversation on December 17th with Ms. Wrinkle, who did she indicate that she was living with?
Her sister.
And what did she say about the history of her relationship with Mr. Wrinkle?
They've been together for 22 years, but they've been separated for the last 2 in January. What would have been 2 in January?
And in that conversation, did she state there wasn't domestic violence, but that Mr. Wrinkle had punched holes in the wall?
Yes.
And what did she share about her own mental health at the last CPS case?
She had also stated that there was a previous case regarding her mental health, and she had went to the pavilion because she made suicidal statements.
Okay. And what did she say about her current state of mental health?
She stated that it was better.
Okay. Let's see. And did she acknowledge a history of drug use far in the past?
Yes, she did.
And what was that history of drug use?
She had said that she had used to use meth and marijuana, but well over 20 years ago.
Okay. And did she state that she was willing to take a drug test for the department?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Now, regarding the description by Ms. Wrinkle of the second incident, what did she describe occurred with the second incident?
They were leaving to go to Amarillo College, a different location. On the way out, Mr. Wrinkle kept pulling Haley by her backpack farther and farther back because he did not want Haley to go with Miss Wrinkle to Amarillo College. So eventually they got to the car. Mr. Wrinkle was already angry, so Miss Wrinkle said, "Get in the car, Haley. Let's go to Amarillo College." She was trying to get Haley in the car when Mr. Wrinkle pushed her to the ground.
Okay. And when you say pushed her to the ground, do you mean Ms. Wrinkle got pushed to the ground by Mr. Wrinkle?
Yes.
Okay. And did Ms. Wrinkle indicate that she had bruising on her chest?
Yes.
Okay. And what statements did Haley make regarding all of these allegations?
Haley had said that, everything was true, and that she just felt really embarrassed by her dad causing such a scene.
And did she indicate that this is also how her dad acts when she's home with him?
Yes.
Now, also in talking with Ms. Wrinkle and Haley, what statements did Haley make regarding her dad and a camera in her room?
She just said that her dad installed a motion camera in her room, so it follows her movements everywhere she goes in her room. It was just there one day randomly.
And do you think that that is inappropriate in a bedroom where a child may be changing?
Yes.
Okay. And where, I'm sorry, did she indicate how high the camera was?
She said that it's too high, so she can't cover it, she can't reach it, she can't do anything to it.
And did Haley describe it making her feel as quote unquote creeped out?
Yes.
As far as alcohol use, what statements did Haley make regarding her father's alcohol use?
She said that her dad drinks beer every day, even whenever she's with him, and that if he got a 12 pack, he would drink half of it.
Okay. And did she indicate that sometimes when he drinks, he's very angry?
Yes.
And what did Haley state regarding her father drinking and driving with her?
She stated that sometime probably last year, he has drunk and drove with her before.
Thank you. And during this investigation, did Miss Wrinkle complete her hair follicle and urinalysis drug screen for the department?
Yes, she did.
And were both of those a negative for illicit substances?
Yes.
Now, also in talking with Ms. Wrinkle, what did she indicate as far as Mr. Wrinkle's drug use?
She stated that she believes that he's using again.
And what drugs did she identify that he had been using?
Methamphetamines, as well as some possible like kratom powder and supplements that give you the same high as opiates.
Thank you, Ms. Taylor. And also in that conversation about drug use, did Ms. Wrinkle indicate that after she lost her mom, she just couldn't do the abuse anymore?
Yes.
And was she indicating that Mr. Wrinkle was the abuser in that conversation?
Yes.
Okay. On December 17th of 2025, did you attempt to make contact with Mr. Wrinkle?
Yes, I did.
Did you attempt again on December 18th?
Yes.
And did you attempt a third time on December 22nd?
Yes.
Now, following that third attempt, did you receive a call from Mr. Wrinkle on that same date?
I did.
And what did he indicate regarding his child?
He wanted to know why he's being held from his daughter, and I advised I had a report to discuss with him.
Okay. And did you make plans to see him in person?
I did.
And did you actually make in-person contact with him?
No, I did not.
What occurred?
We scheduled for the following day, and Mr. Wrinkle canceled.
Okay. However, on December 23rd of 2025, you contacted Miss Wrinkle, is that correct?
Yes.
And what other event did she indicate had occurred regarding Mr. Wrinkle and Haley?
She stated that Mr. Wrinkle was tracking her phone, and she was shopping, and Mr. Wrinkle had showed up, trying to get her.
Now, on January 5th of 2026, did you visit Mr. Wrinkle's residence in Amarillo?
I did.
And was there an Adams Heating and Air truck parked out front?
Yes.
Is that Mr. Wrinkle's employer?
Yes.
Okay. And did anybody respond when you knocked on the door?
No.
Following that, on January 15th of 2026, did you receive a message from Ms. Wrinkle?
Yes.
And did she indicate that she was taking Haley to the ER?
Yes, she had, Miss Wrinkle had to go to the ER and Haley was with her.
Okay. Now, as part of the history of the case, prior intakes had come in regarding Ms. Wrinkle and Mr. Wrinkle. Is that correct?
Yes.
And there was a June 6th of 2025 report as well. Have you reviewed the records from that intake?
Yes.
And what were the intake allegations regarding Mr. Wrinkle at that time?
At that time, the report came in because Ms. Wrinkle's mental health crisis, but there was also concerns regarding both Miss Wrinkle and Mr. Wrinkle using methamphetamine.
Judge, I'm sorry, can she repeat that first
Yeah.
part?
Yeah, you broke up, Miss Taylor. If you'd answer again, please.
So the report had come in regarding concerns with Miss Wrinkle's mental health, but there's also the report also noted concerns regarding methamphetamine use by both Miss Wrinkle and Mr. Wrinkle.
Now, Ms. Taylor, where is Haley currently living at?
She's currently with Miss Wrinkle.
And is Miss Wrinkle being protective of the child?
Yes.
Do you believe that Mr. Wrinkle creates a risk of abuse and neglect for Haley?
Yes.
Additionally, in your investigation, did you find that there was an existing temporary order in the custody case between Mr. and Mrs. Wrinkle?
Yes.
And Your Honor, at this time, we are asking for judicial notice of the July 16, 2025 temporary orders and cause number 86572-L1.
Judge, I would object to that. If they want you to take judicial notice of files in a different proceeding, they need to get certified copies and put those in evidence.
Overruled. I'll take judicial notice of the file.
Thank you, Your Honor. On that specific order,
Judge, I'm sorry. Excuse me, Teresa. Judge, in that respect, then that's fine. If you're going to take judicial notice, I would object to you reading the file or the order or taking into consideration anything in the order, as it's a separate proceeding and they haven't introduced the document into evidence.
Okay, that's okay. I agree with you. I'm not gonna read it. Whatever I decide today is going to take precedence over anything contained in the other cause number. So,
Thank
so
you,
that
Your
that
Honor.
is sustained, Mr. Hill.
Angelica,
Yes.
in your investigation, did you conclude that an order existed for the parents to drug screen and file their results?
Yes.
And in your investigation, did you discover that neither parent had filed their results?
Yes.
However, when was the date of Ms. Wrinkle's negative hair follicle and UA with the department?
That would have been on January 27th.
Does
Oh,
that,
yeah, that's when she took the test. Sorry.
and that is of 2026, is that correct?
Yes.
So at this point, we don't have any concerns regarding substance abuse with Ms. Wrinkle. Is that accurate?
Yes.
And have you had multiple personal conversations with Ms. Wrinkle?
Yes.
And by personal, I mean in person or one-on-one. Is that correct?
Yes.
And at this time, do you have any concerns for the status of her mental health?
No.
Are we asking the court to order the services that the department has outlined in its petition for both parents?
Yes.
And are we asking specifically for the findings of that there's a risk of abuse and neglect or has caused abuse and neglect against Mr. Wrinkle.
Yes.
Right, I pass the witness.
All right, thank you, Ms. Archer. I'm sorry, first of all, Ms. Taylor, is Haley in any type of counseling?
Not at this time, no.
Is it anticipated that you would be putting her in counseling?
Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, Ms. Archer.
Ms. Taylor, would you say that Ms. Wrinkle is the non-offending party in this case?
Yes.
And did she express whether she felt like she needed services to you?
There was something she felt she could benefit from.
Has she been fully cooperative with you?
Yes.
What services are you wanting her to complete?
I think therapy is the most important. She did, recognize the mental health concerns. She just unfortunately cannot afford it right now, but we can help assist her with that, just to make sure that that's still being addressed properly. That's our main focus really with her, would be the mental health.
I'll pass the witness.
Mr. Hill.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Taylor, do you have any personal knowledge with respect to any of the events that you've testified to regarding interactions between Mr. Wrinkle and Ms. Wrinkle or Mr. Wrinkle and the child?
Other than what I've been told, I wasn't there.
Okay, so you're just going off of what you were told, but no personal knowledge. In other words, personal knowledge means you were actually there, you saw things, you heard things. You don't have any personal knowledge. You're just
Your
going
Honor,
off of what you were told.
I'm gonna object, asked and answered.
Overrule. You can answer, Ms.
I-
Taylor.
I was not there.
Thank you. I'll pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Wiggins.
Thank you. Ms. Taylor, you did attempt to get Mr. Wrinkle's side of whatever the situation was. Is that correct?
Yes.
You attempted on the phone, you attempted in person, you attempted at his house. Is that correct?
Yes.
And he refused to cooperate with you. Is that a fair statement?
Yes.
Are you aware of a situation in which Mr. Wrinkle went up to the school and tried to get Haley from school?
Yes.
Okay, was that concern to you?
That was.
Okay, I'll pass the witness, Judge.
All right. Anyone have further questions for Ms. Taylor?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Gutierrez, any other witnesses?
No other witnesses, Your Honor. We rest. We ask for findings that Mr. Wrinkle has caused abuse or neglect against the child. We are also asking that his visitation be ordered as supervised by the department.
All right, thank you. Ms. Archer, any witnesses?
I'd like to call Deanna Wrinkle briefly.
Okay. Trying to find her. Ms. Wrinkle, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. If you'd raise your right hand. You swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ms. Archer?
Ms. Wrinkle, do you feel like you're the non-offending parent in this case?
Yes, I do.
And are you interested in working services, or would you prefer the court not order them?
I'm fine working any services. Like, I don't have an issue with it at all. I just want what's best for my daughter. And if they feel like those services will benefit her and me to be the best mom that I can be for her, then I'm okay doing what they recommend.
So are you asking as long for the department to make those services relevant to the issue at hand and just making you a better parent?
Yes.
Okay, I'll pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Gutierrez?
No questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Hill?
No questions.
All right, then.
Judge,
Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Wiggins. Go ahead.
that's okay. Ms. Wrinkle, did you heard the testimony from Ms. Taylor, is that correct?
Yes, I did.
And she talked a lot about what you told her, is that correct?
Yes.
Did everything she said that you said, was that accurate?
Yes, it was.
Okay, nothing further, Judge.
All right, anyone else? All right, Ms. Archer, did you have any other witnesses?
No, Judge.
Mr. Hill, any witnesses?
Yes, Judge. Can I have a brief breakout room with my client?
Certainly.
Thank
Let me
you.
get that open for you. Mr. Wrinkle, you may be asked to join this breakout room, or it may put you in there automatically.
Okay, I'll see if I can figure it out.
Okay.
Judge, we're back. I appreciate the indulgence.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Hill. Did you have any witnesses?
Yes, sir. Mr. Wrinkle would like to testify.
Okay.
Yes,
Mr. Wrinkle, can you hear me?
yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. If you'd raise your right hand, you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Hill?
Thank you, sir. Okay, Mr. Wrinkle, you, although your camera was turned off for the first portion of the hearing, you've been here and you heard all the testimony since the hearing started. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay, and you heard the allegations made against you regarding the volley. Well, let's just start with the volleyball game incident where they're saying that you hit Ms. Wrinkle, her hands or arms, and then in so doing, hit Haley in the chest. You heard that testimony?
Yes.
Do you dispute that testimony?
Yes.
What took place?
Well, I mean, previously, before even volleyball started, I had informed her that if Antonio Delgado was coming, I'm not paying for the volleyball season. That was the first tournament. The night before, I told her he's not allowed there. I talked to Tina, which is over the extreme. She said if he shows to call. They weren't there at the beginning, and then during the game, seen them back there. I told them to leave, or I'm calling Tina. They said no. I talked to Tina. She's coming over. Then I told Haley, if he's not leaving, we're leaving. She didn't want to leave, so we went back to the game. After the game, she went over there to Haley. Haley was embarrassed, I'm sure. Deanna's sitting there talking about whatever, and she's done this before, using her hands to whatever point, anything. She hit me in the head, and as she hit me in the head, I pushed her arm away. That's when it hit Haley. I've talked to the police. It's in the report. You can talk to the Potter County Sheriff. They ended up kicking her out or him out. The sheriffs asked if I wanted to kick Deanna out. I said, no, I'm not trying to keep her mother from her. So she comes in, go through the game. After that, I go to let my dog out. Every time we go during the reffing or breaks, that I've got to let my dog out, feed her. Come back. They say it's going to be at Emerald College. As I'm there, Deanna and Haley said, it's at Emerald College. We're going here. Well, Haley wouldn't talk to me. Trying to talk with Haley and tell her, communicate with her. She doesn't want to respond to me. Deanna says she doesn't have to respond to her dad. They say they're leaving. Told Haley, she tried to turn around. I grabbed her backpack. She wouldn't respond to me. Deanna kept between me and her and said they were taking off. I followed them out the parking lot. She said, I don't have any right to have her. I told her I was calling the cops. She said, go ahead, call them. So I called 911. As she's getting apparently to, I guess, Olivia's mom's car, she goes and tells Haley, get in the car, and grabs me to separate me from her. And then as she grabs me, I push her off of me. That's when she fell on the ground. Another lady from somewhere else yelled, saying to leave her alone. I was on the phone with the police before we got up there. She got up, they left. I waited for the police to show up. And then the Potter County told me that
No,
they
no, no,
couldn't
no.
do
no,
anything
no.
with it.
Yeah, Mr. Wrinkle, you can't testify to what anyone other than parties said, so.
Okay.
So in either
So-
one of these did the police eventually come to the
Yes.
okay.
One of the
So-
officers from earlier.
Okay, so you had this all took place on the same day, right?
Yes.
You had contact with the police twice on that same day regarding both these incidents, is that right?
Yes. Potter County.
Did they ever arrest you?
No. They asked me if I wanted to press charges on her.
Okay. And
Mr.
did you?
Mr. Wrinkle, I
No.
told you you can't testify to what someone else says.
Okay.
So You were never arrested. No criminal charges against you were even filed.
No, sir.
Okay. Regarding drugs, are you using illegal narcotics at this point?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you take drug tests for work?
No, unless we're
Okay.
in an accident.
Okay. But you're not using illegal narcotics?
No.
Okay. Have you ever in the past used illegal drugs?
Yes.
Okay. How long ago?
It's been beginning of last year.
Okay. But so beginning of 25.
Yes.
Okay. So over a year ago.
Mhm.
And you don't use them currently.
Right.
Okay. Is there any other testimony that you heard from either Ms. Wrinkle or Ms. Taylor that you disagree with?
The punching Haley, I did not, or I mean, hey, Deanna during the first incident there, did not punch her. I pushed her arm away from hitting my face. On the report that I've seen that I was served, Deanna has her residence as 610 North Houston, when I know for a fact she has not stayed there. She's at 809 Sanders.
Mr. Wrinkle, this is being
Yes.
broadcast on YouTube. We don't give out addresses.
Okay, sorry about that. During our court orders, she's not supposed to be under the same roof with Antonio Delgado between the hours of 8 p.m. and 8 a.m. And she is.
Okay, so you believe she's spending the night with Antonio Delgado in violation of the temporary orders in your divorce case, is that right?
Yes, she has her own room there.
And you know that how?
FaceTime from Haley.
Okay.
And I did attempt to go pick Haley up. I've made several Amarillo Police Department interfere with custody rights. So it's documented. I've been told, never mind. Okay, I understand. I'm sorry. I went up there the last Thursday to get her. The lawyer that I'm talking with now said that there's no reason I can't have her.
Your
during
Honor,
my
I
hours.
object to hearsay.
Justine.
Okay,
Okay,
I
so
do
let
not
me
have
just- let me-
anything from
Michael,
CPS.
Michael, hang on just a second, okay? So has Ms. Wrinkle, we'll just cut to the chase. Has Ms. Wrinkle been denying you visitation?
Yes,
Okay. And that's in violation of the temporary orders in your divorce case, is that correct?
yes.
All right. Are there any other statements that were made either by Ms. Wrinkle or Ms. Taylor that you disagree with? Allegations
Uh,
against you?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. Would you ever do anything intentionally to hurt your daughter?
No.
Thank you, sir. I'll pass the witness.
All right. Ms. Gutierrez, questions?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Wrinkle, if you could please explain how Haley's volleyball season cost is tied to this Antonio guy.
Okay. The last CPS deal that happened, Deanna got put in the pavilion because she tried to commit suicide. I did not know anything about this until CPS contacted me the day that Deanna was getting out of CPS. I didn't know my daughter was being over there. Deanna told her sister not to tell me. Once I was contacted, talked with them. Haley, I actually talked with Haley, and she had said that I asked if Antonio's ever hit Deanna. She's heard of that stuff. The report that I have is Haley was not there. Then
So I'm going to
on this-
object then to speculation on that.
Justine.
Okay.
Mr. Wrinkle, maybe you're missing the point of my question. How does Antonio being there change the fact that Haley needs her school volleyball stuff paid for?
It's not school, it's club ball.
So how
We
does it
pay-
change the fact that Haley's sport still needs to be paid for?
Well, before it even started, I informed Deanna, I'm not paying for this extracurricular activity for him to go to. It
Okay,
takes away from my time.
Excuse me, let me interrupt. I'm not interested in who's paying for
Okay.
sports. That has no relevance to
Okay.
this case, so.
I'll
So-
move on, Your Honor. Mr. Wrinkle, you said that you had admitted to drug use over a year ago, is that correct?
Yes.
What drug were you struggling with at that time?
I wouldn't call it struggling. I've messed with marijuana and meth.
And you indicated that you did hit the child, but it wasn't your fault. Is that correct?
I did not hit her. Deanna's
Oh.
arm hit her.
Oh, Deanna's arm hit her.
Mhm.
Okay. And you said that you pushing Ms. Wrinkle wasn't your fault as well. Is that correct?
Yes, she grabbed me. I pushed her off of me.
And what is there a camera or has there been a camera in Haley's room?
Yes, we put cameras in there. She used to have seizures before. She hadn't had them in there for a long time. The camera's in there. Got one in my room. Her friend and her friend Olivia and her were on a adult website, and they've denied they hide stuff. That's why her phone is locked at certain hours. So I can see there. Whenever I'm home, that camera does not record unless I'm gone or unless Olivia and Haley are in there with the door shut, acting suspicious.
And Mr. Wrinkle, as far as the drinking allegations, do you drink alcohol?
Yes,
When was the
beer.
last time you drank a beer?
This weekend.
Okay. Did you punch any holes in the wall during the relationship with Ms. Wrinkle?
During when we were together?
Yes.
Yes, as she's thrown pans at me as well.
And do you use kratom at this time?
No,
And you admit using meth, but it was over a year ago, correct?
yes,
Now, there was drug testing ordered in your custody case in a July 16, 2026 temp order. Would you agree with that?
yes,
Okay, it also ordered you to file your drug screen result. Do you recall that?
yes,
Do you agree that you did not file your drug screen?
yes.
I pass the witness.
Why didn't you file your drug screens, Mr. Wrinkle?
There's several things that didn't get done during that.
I didn't
was
ask you
upset.
that. Excuse
Oh.
me. I asked you, why didn't you file your drug test results?
I did not. I just didn't. Looking for a
That's
New
your
York
answer?
lawyer.
That's,
Yes.
excuse me, that's your answer? You just didn't?
Hmm.
Okay, that's good enough for me. All right, Ms. Archer, questions?
No, Judge.
All right, Ms. Wiggins.
Mr. Wrinkle, did you not file your drug screens because you were concerned with what the contents were?
No.
Did you take the drug screens?
Yes.
And you didn't file them even though they would have theoretically shown that you didn't have any use? Is that what
Yes.
you're testifying to?
Yes.
You thought it would be okay just not to prove that?
Yes.
Objection argumentative.
Overrule.
Now, in regards to the camera in her room, you indicated that it was used or recorded when your daughter shut the door with her friend in there because she was acting suspicious. Is that what your statement was?
No. It's set to record when I'm gone. Nobody's home. All of them record if there's any kind of activity. When I'm home, when we're here, nothing records unless I need it to, and then I can look in on Haley or Haley and Olivia when they're there. They're not supposed to shut the door because, like I said, they have been on adult websites,
Okay,
and that's why.
that's not my question. Okay. So do you not feel it's more appropriate to just, if they shut the door, you go open the door instead of having an active recorder in someone's room where they change and do other private activities?
They're told not to shut the door.
Okay, And in regards to your drug use, when was the last time you used methamphetamine?
Like I said before, over a year ago.
And did you get any drug treatment to help with your methamphetamine use?
No,
And before a year ago, have you ever had any drug treatment?
no.
Pass the witness.
Mr. Wrinkle, have you ever used kratom?
Yes.
How long since you've used kratom?
Since me and Deanna were together,
How long's that? I don't know how long you've been
um,
together.
it would be in 2024, beginning of 24, end of 23.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, anybody else have further questions for Mr. Wrinkle?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Hill, did you have any further witnesses?
No, sir.
All right, Ms. Wiggins, any witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
All right, everyone rest and close.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor,
Okay.
I'd like to amend my request to include an alcohol screen on Mr. Wrinkle as well.
Okay. Is it Care Express or are y'all using the other one now?
It's still Care Express, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, then, based on the evidence I've heard today, I'm going to grant the department's motion to participate in part. Specifically, I'm going to order that Ms. Wrinkle will participate in individual counseling and parenting and will take random drug screens when requested by the department or St. Francis. I'm going to order that Mr. Wrinkle will participate in individual counseling, parenting, anger management, the BIP program, and random drug screens when requested by the department or St. Francis. I'm going to specifically order that he drug screen today, both hair strand, UA, including alcohol screen by 4 p.m. today at Care Express in Amarillo. Be sure the department gets the 2054 over there immediately after this hearing. I'm going to order that Mr. Wrinkle's visitation with Haley be supervised and only as recommended by Haley's therapist. I'm going to order that Haley participate in individual counseling. And then I'll order both parents to sign any and all releases as requested by the department or St. Francis. Do we want another hearing set?
Yes, Your Honor, please, if we could do it about 90 days out.
Okay, let me see what I've got here. I've got May 18th. Does that work? Or I've got May 18th or June 22nd.
I think May 18th would be better, Your Honor, if everybody's available then.
Okay. All right, then I'll order our next review hearing to be for our compliance hearing, I guess, on May 18th, 2026. It will be by Zoom like today's hearing. So parties can ask their lawyers or anybody can go on the court's online docket a day or two before May 18th to see what time of day we'll have that hearing so you don't have to wait around in the waiting rooms. Okay, that will conclude this hearing. For those of you involved, I'll be back at 11 o'clock to call final hearing with a motion to retain on the Ledbetter children. So we'll be in recess till 11 o'clock. Y'all have a good week.
Thank you.
Thank y'all. This is set for a final hearing. I do realize there's a motion to retain the case on the court's docket on file by the department. Ms. Gutierrez is with us for department. Ms. Wiggins is with us representing the children. Mr. Barfield is with us representing the mother, Ms. Ledbetter, who is with us. I have Tracy Riley's on. I don't know where she's at. Yeah, she's here really early. I have Sylvia Garcia and Yolanda Guerrero in the waiting room.
Sylvia Garcia is my worker on this one, Your Honor. And then Ms. Guerrero, she's on that Lamb adversary hearing that's at 12:30.
Okay. Okay, well, I guess we'll just leave her there if she wanted to be there that early. All right. All right, everybody's present. Let's first of all talk about the Ms. Gutierrez. You can just briefly summarize for me what's the extraordinary circumstance that warrants extending the case.
Yes, Your Honor. The children were placed with their 20-year-old brother Easton, I believe on February 16th. Easton is young, but he has things really together. He really loves these kids. He's been very proactive about visiting them during the case and looking out for them. We believe that that the case should continue so that the court and everybody can be involved to support that placement. As well, we're asking for mediation. We think that with Easton being placement, it opens up new possibilities for the case, for the outcome of the children.
Okay, let me just ask, is there any objections to the extension of the case by any of the parties?
Not from the children, Judge.
Okay,
Your Honor, I will share that Ms. Ledbetter has been struggling very badly with the substance abuse issue. However, she is currently at the St. Francis office asking to be taken to a rehab.
okay,
And just for the record, Judge, I have no objection. I think that is obviously, given the circumstances, in the best interest of well, everybody involved in the case at this point, Judge.
okay, all right. Based on what I've heard concerning the mother and the new placement with the brother, I do find that there's extraordinary circumstances that warrant the extension of the case, so I will extend the case and retain the case on the court's docket. We will just we were here in December. Do we have any issues we need to take up today as a permanency hearing,
Well,
other
Your
than
Honor,
mediation?
yes, Your Honor, I think we were asking for changes of Ms. Ledbetter's visitation. Marvell, are we still asking for those changes in visitation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yes, Your Honor, I think we need a hearing, but I can try to make it as fast as I can.
Okay, well, we've got till 11:30, so, and that's due to me being a little bit late, so we're good to go.
Okay.
I just now had Angela Tidwell come in the waiting room. Is she involved in this case?
No, not on this one, Your Honor.
All right, then, Ms. Gutierrez, you may proceed on a permanency hearing.
Thank you, Your Honor. The department calls Sylvia Garcia as its witness.
All right. Ms. Garcia, if you'd raise your right hand, please. You swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, I do.
All right, thank you, Ms. Gutierrez.
Thank you, Your Honor. We also asked for judicial notice of the court report filed on February 11th of 2026.
All right, so noted, and I read that report.
Thank you. All right, Sylvia, you are the caseworker on this for the Ledbetter children. Is that correct?
Yes, that is.
And since the filing of the court report, has placement for Alyssa and Eli changed?
Yes, it has.
Where are they now placed?
They're placed with their older brother, Easton Adams.
And is Easton taking care of their daily needs like food, shelter, medical, educational?
Yes, he is.
Okay. And are the children continuing in therapy?
Yes, they are.
Can you give me some details on how they are doing in that placement currently?
So they've actually been doing very well. They've adjusted. Their brother has always been a big part of their life, so it was very easy for them to adjust. I know that Eli and Alyssa had to adjust again being in the same home. So they've had a little bit more sibling arguments than they did before, but it's normal just because they're adjusting to being in the same house every day again.
And as far as Ms. Ledbetter, how is she progressing on her services?
So she has not progressed on her services, but she did reach out to me this morning stating that she had a bed for today and that they told her that as long as she could be there by the end of the day, that she would be able to get her bed. So she was asking for transportation, and we did get transportation approved for her to actually be leaving at 11:30 this morning.
And Ms. Garcia, I don't know if you could turn up your volume or maybe move a little closer. You're breaking up. I'm sure it's pretty hard for Ms. Taylor to.
Sorry.
Okay, go ahead, Ms. Gutierrez.
Okay. Sylvia, can you say your name real quick?
Sylvia Garcia.
Okay, that's clear. Thank you. All right. And what substance abuse rehabilitation center is she planning to go to today?
It's Grace Manor in Lubbock, Texas.
Okay. And has she been complying with drug testing?
She has not.
And has she made any statements regarding recent drug use?
She has not. She just has stated that she didn't have transportation for those other drug screens when I had sent hers, but she has not admitted or anything to having any drug use in the past couple of months.
And historically, what drug has she struggled?
I'm sorry, Ms. Garcia, what time did you say she has to be there by?
11:30. Or no, she's leaving the office at 11:30.
Oh, okay. We're not on any kind of deadline that she's going to lose her bed.
No, we're not.
Okay. All right. I misunderstood you. Thank you. Sorry to interrupt, Ms. Gutierrez.
That's okay. Let's see. So how long has it been since she completed a drug screen for St. Francis?
In December.
And historically, what drug has she struggled with?
Methamphetamines.
In regards to visitation, has she been continuing her visits with Eli and Alyssa?
Yes, she has.
And how has what have you noticed about her appearance during those visits?
Well, she actually does look a little bit, usually April is very groomed, and she's well put together when she comes to the visits. She comes prepared, but recently these last couple of visits, you could tell that she's been struggling. She doesn't have stability as far as housing, and so it's been hard for her.
Is she working?
She's not currently working. She did state that she's door dashing, but I don't have verification of the door dashing.
It's breaking up again. I don't know why. I can't figure that out.
I do have Miss Ledbetter here with me. Maybe let me see if she. Yeah, go ahead and. She's
Yeah,
gonna go
if
ahead
she-
and log out.
Yeah, that's right. That's I'm pretty sure that's what's doing it.
Okay. Does it sound better now, Judge?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. What changes to visitation are we asking for, if any?
We're asking for visitations to be suspended until she's able to provide us a negative drug screen.
Are we asking for that to be suspended until she provides both a negative UA and hair follicle drug screen result?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Are there any services we are asking to be ordered today for Ms. Ledbetter?
Not any new services.
Are we asking for any drug screens to be ordered today?
We are. The only thing is that she's kind of running in a time crunch because her transportation is going to leave at 11:30.
Okay, so we're not, it sounds like we're not then asking for any drug screens to be ordered today. Is that correct?
That's correct. I can actually, Grace Manor has worked with us in the past, and as long as we can get them a drug screen and a couple of days in advance, they will transport them to get drug screened in Lubbock.
Okay, so that can be handled without the court order for it to be today specifically, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Would it be contrary to the welfare of the children to be returned to Ms. Ledbetter today?
It would.
And would it be a danger to their physical health or safety?
It would.
And in regards to the permanency goals, what is the current primary goal?
It is relative kinship adoption,
And what is the concurrent goal?
family reunification. Or I'm sorry, it's it's actually relative kinship conservatorship.
Okay, can you please describe the reasonable efforts the department is making to reunify the family?
We have provided a tailored family plan of service for Ms. Ledbetter. We have provided transportation for services, transportation for parent-child visits. We've provided resources that are outside of her services just to try to give more support. And that's what we've done for her.
Can you give me one or two examples of those resources that are outside of her service plan that you're helping her with?
She was asked to go to the workforce solution. So then she was given transportation to the workforce solution. And then She was also asked, what other jobs that she would qualify, and I referred her to Indeed, because she actually does have a higher education. So there is other jobs that she could possibly qualify for with her background.
Let's see, and we are asking the court to order mediation, is that correct?
We are.
Okay, I pass the witness.
All right, Mr. Barfield.
Your Honor, I have no, basically, do you know how long the Grace Manor program is?
It's 28 days.
Okay. All right. And if she can get some help there and get negative drug screen, then we can look at continuing the in-person visits. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. All right. I have no further questions, Judge.
All right, thank you. Ms. Wiggins?
I have no questions, Judge.
All right. All right, Ms. Gutierrez, anything further from the department?
Nothing further from the department. We rest and close, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Barfield, did you have any witnesses?
I do not. The only witness I'd have would be my client, but it appears that that would be just cumulative.
Sure. Okay, thank you for that. Ms. Wiggins, recommendations?
Thank you, Judge. The children are doing very well with their brother. They were placed February 13th, and they were very excited about that. I have talked to both of their counselors, and they are willing to continue on. And I know the brother's willing to facilitate that as well. I know he's also willing to keep them in the same school until the school year. So that's another thing that was a very positive for the kiddos. And so I asked that the placement be continued. As far as visitation goes, these kids are very connected to their mom. So I feel like visitation should only be suspended until after she completes the program, the inpatient program. And then if, Judge, you're not comfortable with in-person, at least phone call visitation until we can maybe get some negative drug screens.
Okay. All right, then. Well, as I've stated, I have granted the motion to extend and retain on the court's docket. I'll continue the department's temporary managing conservator, continue the children's current placement with their brother. I'll just order that Ms. Ledbetter's visitation will be suspended until she successfully completes inpatient drug treatment and provides a negative UA drug screen. I will order the mediation as requested. Ms. Gutierrez, do you want to just set a next permanency hearing, or do you want to set it for a final, or?
If we could set it for another permanency review hearing, I think that would be best.
Okay, I've got either May 18th or June 22nd.
Marvell, do you prefer May or June for the next hearing?
I think May we would know whether she's completed rehab or not. So I think May would be good.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Okay, then I will set our next permanency hearing for May 18th, 2026. That will be by Zoom like today's hearing. So parties can ask their lawyers, or anybody can go on the court's online docket a day or two before May 8th to see what time of day we'll have the hearing, to avoid having to sit in the waiting room. So, all right, then. We will stand in recess on this case. I'll be back at here in about 5 minutes to call another Randall County case. That's also a final hearing with a motion to retain involving the Seeley child. So, Ms. Ledbetter, good luck with your rehab, and I'll see some of you back here in just a few minutes.
Thank you.
This is a final hearing with a motion to retain on the court's docket having been filed by the department. Ms. Wildman's with us for the department. Ms. Riley's with us representing the child. Ms. Kincaid is with us representing the mother. Ms. Stidham, who is with us. Mr. Hill's with us representing the father, Mr. Seeley. I don't have him in my waiting room. Mr. Hill, were you expecting him?
Judge, I do not know. I wonder if I could get a breakout room with you and the other attorneys just very briefly, Judge.
Sure.
Your Honor, I'm here.
I heard you.
Okay.
You're the mother of the child of the subject of this suit, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you had asked for the department at the beginning of this case to help you get Cheyenne some help for her mental health and behavioral issues, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Since the beginning of this suit, have you seen progress from Cheyenne?
I have.
Okay. And what kind of progress have you seen?
In our therapy and in conversations and physically, we are able to have communication. We're able to talk. She's able to control a lot more of her, what used to be explosive behavior, I guess is a way to explain it.
There was no communication prior. She's been able to voice how she feels in a very respectful way and allow other people to speak to her as well. She's using her coping skills and she's made a lot of progress.
Okay. And how often are you having family therapy?
We have family therapy once a week, and then we get to communicate 2 to 3 times a week.
Okay. And did you recently have a visit with her, like a long-term visit?
We did, yes.
Okay. And what did you guys do during that visit?
We went to the beach. It was very quiet, and we had a lot of one-on-one time. We got to sit and just talk about a lot of issues that were stemming prior. We had conversations that were actual conversations and not shutting down, avoidant, cussing, the behavior that had been seen prior. It was
Okay.
actual communication, and we did a lot of just time together and outings.
Okay. And how long was that visit?
It was about 4 days.
Okay. And have you also received notice that she is to be successfully discharged from her current placement?
Yes, she finished her program on this past Thursday, and yes.
Okay. And do you know where they recommend for her to be placed whenever she's released?
In my home, is my understanding.
Okay. And so are you asking the court to return Cheyenne to you today?
Yes.
Okay. And you do not want the extension, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. I'll pass a witness.
Thank you.
All right. Ms. Stidham, do you know what the discharge date is? You said she just said it's coming up pretty quickly. Do you know what her discharge date is?
She finished the program on Thursday, which was the 19th. And my understanding is that she can be discharged at any time within 60 days.
Okay. You mean she can?
She can leave at any time, is my understanding, within the 60 days.
It's not up to the facility to decide. It's just we got to decide, right?
Yes, sir. That's my understanding.
All right. I understand. Thank you. All right.
Yes.
Ms. Wildman, did you have questions for Ms. Stidham?
Yes, Judge.
Go ahead.
Ms. Stidham, what is the reason that you're opposed to having an extension in this case?
Cheyenne has done everything that I and the department has asked her to do. She has completed the program successfully. Her behaviors are under control. She's learning how to cope and express those respectfully, taking accountability and doing those things. And I feel at this point she's done finally what we've asked her to do. And we do see improvement, a lot of improvement.
So you've read the discharge notice, correct?
From
the facility in Alabama?
Yes, they emailed it to me.
Okay. And so you would agree with me, there's quite a bit of aftercare recommendations in that document, correct?
As far as therapy and those things, yes.
Yes. And so last time we reunified Cheyenne with just dismissing the department out entirely, how long was it before you had to contact the department again to look at returning her to the department's care?
The conversations about returning her happened immediately. We brought her home.
All right, y'all quit talking over.
Apology, Judge.
Yeah, Ms. Wildman, you need to slow down and wait till she quits answering your question before you ask the next one.
It was almost immediately. We brought her home in that instance because we were concerned for her safety. We knew she still had behaviors, but at that point it was for her safety and no other reason.
Okay. And the department was opposed to closing that out, correct?
My understanding and what was said are two different things, so I do not know.
Okay. But you'd agree with me that it was a pretty quick turnaround before she was back in the department's care, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so as far as aftercare services, which of those services have you set up as of today?
As of today, I have not been able to set up anything because I was told I needed to find out if she was even getting to come home.
Okay.
Now, once I am informed that she's able to come home, then yes, I have services that I can contact to get those set up for her so we can continue those services.
But they're not set up as of today, correct?
Today, no ma'am.
So if Cheyenne were to return today, there are no aftercare services readily available to her, correct?
There is not.
Okay. And so would you agree with me that those services are important?
They are important, absolutely.
Okay. And so do you understand that if the department stays involved, they can help get those services set up, help pay for those services, and help provide additional services that may become available if reunification doesn't go as expected?
I understand that.
Okay. And so I guess what exactly is the reason you're not wanting to have those services provided by the department?
Well, one, I didn't know anything about that. Well, let me back up. I apologize. Her services that she needs will continue regardless whether the department's involved or not. So I guess that's where I'm not understanding why they would stop.
Okay. So I guess I'm confused. You previously testified that none of those services were set up yet, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So as of now, there's no services continuing if the department were dismissed out, correct?
They would be set up to be continued.
Okay. Now, as far as Cheyenne coming home, what is the name of the girlfriend that was living with you up until recently?
That was living here with me?
Yes.
Her name was Megan.
Megan what?
Anders.
Okay. Is there a reason that you did not disclose that name to the caseworker when it was previously requested?
It was requested to me that if Cheyenne was to come home, they would need her information, which I understood that. Megan is leaving, is not going to be here, so it's not relevant.
Now you said leaving. When is she leaving?
This evening, and I told Angela that.
Okay. And so what was the reason that the visit last week was canceled? Because we were supposed to meet with Miss Tidwell, correct?
I don't understand. Nothing was canceled. I got called into work, so her visit to my home was rescheduled.
Okay, so that would have been the answer then, that you were called into work?
Yes, but nothing was canceled.
Okay. Did you previously tell Miss Tidwell that is it Anders or Anderson?
Anders.
That Miss Anders had already left?
I did not. Told her she would be leaving on Monday, which is today.
And you have not provided any information for her to have a background check done, correct?
No, I have not.
Your Honor, I'll pass the witness.
All right. Mr. Hill?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Riley, questions?
No, Judge, not at this time.
All right. Ms. Stidham, I'm not trying to pry into your business, but this, what I forgot her name already, the one that's moving out this evening.
Miss Anders.
Yeah, is she leaving? You say leaving, are you two no longer going to be in a relationship, or she's just moving out so that your child can move back in, or?
She's going back to Indiana, and the future of the relationship, I have no idea.
Okay.
But at this moment in time, no, she's moving back to Indiana to her state. So whatever is happening in this house has nothing to do with her.
All right. So just so I want to be clear, regardless of what the court rules today, you understand that if your child's placed back with you and she's going to come back to the residence, you're going to have to give the information, or else we're all going to have a real problem.
That.
Okay.
I understand that.
All right. I just want to be sure we're all on the same page.
Absolutely.
Okay, then, Ms. Wildman, do you have any other witnesses for today?
Judge, if we're
Your
not going
Honor,
to
I've
do,
got a couple questions. By the
Oh,
way.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry for I gotta basically.
Wait a minute,
I'm
sir. Excuse me.
Sorry, excuse me,
Mr. Seeley,
Your
would
Honor.
you be quiet for a minute?
Yes, sir. I sure can.
You've got a lawyer. I'll put you in a breakout room with your lawyer, but you got a
Okay.
lawyer. You're not going to represent yourself and have a lawyer. So
Okay.
let me
Okay.
put you in a breakout room with your attorney.
Okay. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Judge, Mr. Seeley and I are back.
Mr.
Judge,
Seeley, if you,
Judge,
yeah,
if I may, Mr. Seeley appeared to potentially be driving at this time. I would have a concern.
I'm pulled over right now.
that's no concern of mine. All right, Mr. Seeley, if you would raise your right hand, you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir. I do.
All right, Mr. Hill.
Mr. Seeley, you are Cheyenne's father, is that correct?
That is correct, sir.
And you, I've explained to you why after today I can't be your attorney. You understand I have a conflict, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but as far as today is concerned, you're okay with me representing you. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir. That is accurate.
Okay, and you've been here, you heard the testimony, you understand that CPS is requesting an extension in the case.
That is correct. I have heard that.
Are you in favor of the judge extending the case and keeping it open longer, or would you prefer that the case end now and that Cheyenne goes back home?
I'm requesting the extension be made on this case.
You don't think it's appropriate for her to go home today?
No, sir, I do not.
Okay, thank you. I'll pass the witness.
Anyone else have questions for Mr. Seeley?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, then. Mr. Hill, I assume you didn't have any other witnesses?
No, sir, I do not.
Ms. Riley, did you have any witnesses? You're muted.
No, Judge. Sorry.
Okay.
No,
All
Judge.
right. All right, then.
Judge, the department was going to call Angela Tidwell briefly.
Okay. Ms. Tidwell, if you'd unmute. Thank you, ma'am. If you'd raise your right hand, you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Wildman.
Thank you, Judge. Now, Ms. Tidwell, would you agree with what was previously testified to by Ms. Stidham that Cheyenne has made a lot of progress in her placement?
Yes, ma'am, she has.
And in fact, Ms. Stidham and Cheyenne have made a lot of progress on their relationship, correct?
Yes, ma'am, that is correct.
Now, have you also been provided the letter with the recommendations for her after or post-discharge care?
Yes, ma'am, I have.
And so one of those things is in-home family therapy services, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you been able to identify a provider for that yet or get those services set up?
Not that service, not yet. No, ma'am.
All right. Now, have you reached out to some people about individual therapy?
Yes, ma'am. I reached out to Melissa Lawson. That was Cheyenne's previous therapist, and she stated that she could resume therapy once Cheyenne returns back to Amarillo.
Okay. And so as far as family therapy, have you figured out a provider for that yet?
No, ma'am. I need to find a family therapist.
Now, let's be clear. This discharge came, what was it, last Thursday?
On February 19th, so 4 days ago.
So does that make it hard to find all those services on such a short period of time?
Yes, ma'am, but I have started.
Okay. And as far as transferring over the independent living skills and the PALS program, is that going to take a little bit of doing still?
Yes, ma'am. I did send an email to her pals, to Michael Garraby, and I'm waiting for a response from him.
Now, based on your, experience with this case and working with Ms. Stidham and Cheyenne, do you believe that these services are going to be necessary for them to successfully reunify?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Now, the recommendation from the facility in Alabama is that she be placed back with her mother ultimately, correct?
Yes, ma'am, that is correct.
And ultimately, is that also the goal of St. Francis?
Yes, ma'am.
And was, even before we got the official discharge, was the department working towards that goal in the next month or so?
Yes, ma'am.
And so based off of the past, of reunifying without post discharge services in place, do you believe that it would be in Cheyenne's best interest to remain at that facility until those services can be identified and set up?
Yes, ma'am.
And as far as reunifying back in the home, have you been able to talk to the Megan Anderson or anybody to confirm, or Anders to confirm that she's actually leaving?
I spoke with Brittany, and Brittany stated that she would be leaving today, but I've not been able to confirm that.
Okay, and so is that something that the department would want to do to make sure that everybody in the household still is safe and appropriate?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, I mean, let's be honest. Have there been some issues that have happened at that placement recently?
Yes, ma'am. There was an issue on February the 14th.
Okay, and just kind of generally, what is your understanding of what happened?
It's my understanding that Cheyenne was in her room and two other girls that are at that facility entered her room and actually jumped Cheyenne.
Now, is it fair to say that we are also not looking to have her stay necessarily any longer than is necessary, correct?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
And that, I mean, is it your understanding from hearing Ms. Stidham's testimony that ultimately we do seem to be aligned in the sense of getting Cheyenne home and getting her in a position where she'll be able to remain home?
Yes, ma'am, that is correct.
Are there other additional wraparound services that the department can help facilitate or connect the family to if those become necessary, if the department remains involved?
Yes, ma'am, we can.
And how old is Cheyenne?
She just turned 17.
And so is it fair to say that the department's primary goal here is to make sure that this reunification is successful so that we don't end up in a situation where we're having to take custody of her again?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you believe the extension and the post-discharge services are going to be absolutely necessary to make sure that she can return to her mother and be successful and not need the department services anymore after that successful reunification can be facilitated?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
I'll pass the witness, Judge.
Ms. Kincaid, any questions?
Briefly, Your Honor. Should the court grant the extension today, what is an approximate timeline for getting Cheyenne placed with Ms. Stidham?
I had staffed with my director, and we were shooting for no later than March 19th.
Okay. Is there any particular reason for that date?
And when I spoke with Peyton Burden, Cheyenne's therapist, even though this is a 60-day discharge, Peyton had stated that the actual discharge date would be March 19th for completion of the program. And we just want to ensure that the program is 100% fulfilled and completed, and that we have all the appropriate services set up necessary to return Cheyenne home to.
Okay, thank you. I'll pass witness.
All right. Mr. Hill, any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Riley, any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Okay, then. I'm just going to go ahead and make my ruling, then I'm going to kind of explain so the parents understand what's going on here. We've got some legal issues involved. So first of all, I do find that there's extraordinary circumstances, and I will grant the motion to extend the case and retain the case on the court's docket. I'll order the department be continued as temporary managing conservator. I'll order that Cheyenne be placed back with her mother as soon as all the recommended services based upon her discharge are in place for her return to Amarillo. I'm going to order that Meredith Graff be appointed as guardian ad litem for Cheyenne, and Ms. Riley will remain on as attorney ad litem for Cheyenne. And then I'm going to order that Aaron Mullinax be substituted as the attorney for Mr. Seeley for all future hearings and proceedings after today. I'm going to set a final for April 20th, 2026. That could be, that may turn into a permanency rather than a final, but I'm going to set it as the final. Now, for the parents, let me explain a couple of things. Mr. Hill may have already talked to Mr. Seeley. Mr. Hill tells me that at the beginning of this case, he was representing Ms. Stidham. That was unknown to us. Well, should have been known to me, and I just didn't recognize it. I'm looking back on my notes from today, and I don't show that Mr. Hill was ever her lawyer.
Judge,
I
it was
thought-
from the previous CPS case.
Okay, previous case. So anyway, that regardless of that, he has represented Ms. Stidham in the past. He thinks, and I agree, that that could be a potential conflict, and we don't ever want to set either a parent or an attorney up for a conflict and make them stay in the case. That's why I'm appointing Ms. Mullinax to substitute in for Mr. Seeley. That avoids that problem altogether. Ms. Riley has some concerns about what Cheyenne wants versus what she thinks is best. And she's asked that I do the appropriate thing, and that is to appoint a guardian ad litem that will recommend to the court what that guardian ad litem thinks best for Cheyenne. Ms. Riley can still remain as her attorney ad litem and represent what Cheyenne wants to this court. Those are the reasons I'm extending the case, basically, and quite honestly, so that we can get all these discharge services in place for when Cheyenne comes home. There's no need to send her somewhere else and then bring her home. This will be a good way for us to all see if it's going to take this time when it didn't take the last time we sent her home. So I think it's going to be good for everybody, and it should help the parents as far as costs of getting all these services set up too. So that is the basis of the ruling. I don't usually go into that, but I wanted the parents to know why we're having to do it, because of the substitution of new lawyers. So we had to do it anyway. So we might as well get a look, see how it's going to go when Cheyenne comes home. So, all right. That will conclude this hearing. For those of you involved, I'll be back at 12:30 to call another Randall County case. That's an adversary hearing on the Lamb child. I'll let you know I may be just a few minutes late, but I will be back. So otherwise, we will be in recess. Y'all have a good week.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
This is a final hearing involving the Downing child. Ms. Wildman's with us for the department. Ms. Grant is with us representing the child. Ms. Riley's with us representing the mother. Ms. Ferrer, who is with us. Mr. Barfield is with us representing the father, Mr. Downing, who is with us. I have Maria Cedillo. She's my only one in the waiting room.
Judge, we will not need to call her. I think at this point, we believe we're all ready to announce an agreement to have a monitored return ordered. And so we would have only needed her, I believe, if we were going to a full final. She's the DFPS investigator.
All right, you want me to bring her in and let her either stay or go?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. All right, Ms. Cedillo's with us. No one's in the waiting room. Who wants to announce the agreement?
I can, Judge. Do you have access either through Odyssey or through the filings to the current reunification plan that was filed on Friday?
I could get Brittany to bring it to me if I need it.
I can read off what it was going to be, Judge, if that's easier. Give me one moment. All right.
Or you can.
Judge, I have it open on my computer if you'd like me just to shoot it to you.
Yeah, you can email it to me and I'll open it and look at it while we're
Okay.
going. Okay, I have the family reunification schedule now.
All right, thank you, Judge. So the agreement, Judge, would be asking for an agreed order on a transitional monitored return, and it would essentially be as far as Ms. Ferrer is concerned, it would be pursuant to the family reunification schedule there with two changes. The first, I guess, step-up sequence already began this past weekend. So if you go to the second one, starting March 7th to March 8th and March 14th to March 15th, it currently says that she would have him return the following morning at 10 a.m. In order to give Ms. Ferrer more time, we have agreed to change that to 2 p.m. in the afternoon. And then in the next step-up provision with the weekend unsupervised overnights, we wanted to clarify that the third weekend, April 3rd, the way it reads now would have him technically returning to placement Sunday evening and then being placed the next month, that following Monday. The change we would announce now is that he would just remain with Miss Ferrer that whole weekend and then would not need to return that Sunday evening.
All right, so we'd take out the last sentence saying she will return the child to placement fed, bathed, and ready for bed, and then we'd mark out the one that says if all goes well. Is that right?
If all goes well, he will technically still be placed on the 6th. He just would
Okay.
not have to return by 6 p.m. the weekend of April 3rd. He would just stay that whole time.
All right. Is there anything I need to take out of that?
I think it just needs to say 5th, Judge, because that's Sunday. Is that not correct? That avoids the issue of her having to return him.
So
I
you're
don't
saying,
know that Mr. Ryan can do placement on the Sunday. I think that would probably just be a scheduling issue.
yeah, y'all just tell me, you're more familiar with that with me. Tell me what else I need to change. I've
I
taken
think
out,
we should just put a note next to April 3rd that says he will not return on the Sunday of this weekend and will remain. Might clear it up.
well, do we take out the last one that said he'll be officially placed on the 6th or leave it in?
We'll leave that in, Judge, and then that would be the official placement date.
What do you want me to write in here from April? Doesn't really matter to me. Y'all are going to draft the order, but just so I understand, April 3rd, 2026, what do I add there?
I think that the suggestion by Miss Grant is good. Just afterwards, a parentheses, child will not be returned
Okay,
this date.
will not be returned on April 3rd.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or April, yes. That weekend.
I'll just put a child will not be returned. That's good enough for me if it works for y'all.
It does.
Okay. All right.
And then, Judge, as far as Mr. Downen would be concerned, I think the department at this point, I would just request that he continue working services. I think we do need to put on a very brief sort of permanency hearing with testimony from Mr. Ryan as far as everything is concerned, just to help show that this is in the child's best interest and everything, but I don't think that will take too long.
Okay. All right then.
Your Honor, there is one more slight caveat to the reunification schedule. May not matter, but I think it matters to the mother. We're going to change the words that she has completed the most of her services. She's actually completed all of her services, Your Honor. We are actually just monitoring for implementation of such services. So I would propose striking most of her services, changing it to the word all, and then a monitored return is always defined as monitoring implementation.
So you're talking about the order that I will be signing, or is that in this family reunification schedule?
That's language in the reunification schedule, Judge.
Top paragraph of page 1, Your Honor, introductory paragraph.
Okay.
I just didn't want it to go through with there being an appearance of outstanding services.
Okay. All right. I'm fine with that.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. So Ms. Wildman, you can call your witness.
Thank you, Judge. And I would call Sean Ryan.
All right. Mr. Ryan, if you'd raise your right hand, you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Wildman.
Thank you, Judge. And Sean, as far as Luke is concerned, have you had an opportunity to find out how this past weekend went?
With Mary?
Yep.
I have not. I saw Luke last Wednesday. But from what I've talked to him about the parent visits, he loves his visits. He loves his parents.
And I guess is it fair to say you haven't heard anything negative about how that went?
No, ma'am.
All right, perfect. And so, based off of that reunification plan and the changes that are made, do you believe that that's in Luke's best interest?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and do you agree that at this point, Ms. Fair has completed all of her services and the department's ready to go forward with getting Luke home to her?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, as far as Luke's concerned, are there any updates that we need as far as medical, dental, education, anything like that?
No, ma'am.
All right, and so regarding Mr. Downen, let's kind of get an update sort of on what's been going on with him and his services. At this point, I mean, what services has he, or let me ask you, what sort of communication have you had with Mr. Downen lately?
Kelton It's been inconsistent. You know, some months I am able to meet with him when I go up to Lubbock, so the other months I'm not. But it's been just inconsistent. It's a good word for it.
What sort of services does he still need to complete at this point?
So I had sent him for a OSAR because of his positive screens back in December, his hair and his UA. So I had to send him another OSAR referral. That was sent in January. I can't remember the specific date, but I had to resend another OSAR February 3rd because he hadn't signed his release of information for the OSAR. The same thing with the psychological. I had set up the a psychological through Stonebridge to be completed, and they did inform me that they reached out to him, and he has not. They didn't have any form of communication with him. And also, he had told me that he was doing therapy in when he was in Serenity. I haven't gotten a certification for the therapy that he was receiving. He had told me it when I had spoke to his case manager there, Erica. She had told me what like she was doing technically counseling with him, but it was more counseling for like things like parenting, anger management, and such. And then the last thing, the BIP, I do not know if he did start the BIP yet either. But that referral was also made that was made on 12/10, that referral. And that was through Choices Counseling.
And previously had Mr. Downen expressed sort of a reluctance to start BIP until he'd completed his other services.
Correct.
And is that why that referral came so late?
Correct.
And he'd been at Serenity. Has he been, I guess, in and out of rehabilitative sort of facilities on and off throughout this case?
Correct.
When was December the last time he drug screened for the department?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you made attempts since December to send him?
Correct. January, and I will be making an attempt obviously for February as well.
Okay. And at this point, what's going on with visitation with Luke?
His visits were recently stopped because he failed to screen for us in January.
Is there a concern about him actively using and still having visitation?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, as far as throughout the extension, are we able to continue, or not extension, but through the monitored return, are we going to be able to continue making these referrals and trying to engage him?
Absolutely, yes, ma'am.
Are you asking that he be ordered to drug screen? Do you know what the hours for drug screening are where he's at?
I would have to send them sometime this week. Right now, it'd be a little too unreasonable.
Do you know specifically where he's living at this moment?
He had told me that he's living with a friend. I don't know who. I don't know. That's as much as the information I know is where he's residing.
So you haven't been given an address to know whether he's in Lubbock or some other city?
He is in Lubbock. I did meet with him this past month, for this February, I should say. But no address was given. I'm sure he would give me an address too if I had asked him, but I didn't meet with him there at his friend's house.
Okay.
Well, he's here today. So let's get all the information, Mr. Ryan, you need from Mr. Downen today. We're on YouTube, so I'll be happy to put you and Mr. Downen and his attorney in a breakout room when we're through. You know, let's bring him out of the woods. Let him give you the information you need.
And are you asking at this point that the visitation between him and Luke remain suspended until he gives you a negative drug screen?
Correct.
Are there any other, I guess, requests that you have as far as court orders today or recommendations?
Not at this time.
And obviously with the agreed monitored return to Ms. Fair, do you believe the department's made those reasonable efforts to reunify?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe that the department's making reasonable efforts to try to reunify with Mr. Downen?
Yes, ma'am.
And is the department going to continue trying to engage him in those services to try and help facilitate any sort of reunification that can be possible?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you asking the department remain TMC throughout the monitored return?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Judge, I will pass, or do you believe it would be a continuing danger to return Luke to Mr. Downen?
Yes, ma'am.
And real briefly, sort of what are those concerns?
Just maintaining, we haven't, had 6 months of employment, housing, sobriety. So those are the big concerns that we have right now.
And at this point, is it fair to say you haven't even been able to see whether or not where he's living would be appropriate for Luke?
Correct. I don't believe Kelton's planning on living there long term. But like I said, we would need to ask him for sure.
Okay. I'll pass the witness, Judge.
Okay. Ms. Riley, any questions?
Sorry, yes, just briefly. Once you, Sean, once you get out, or once, we have a schedule to return to Mary, and there's an extension in place, but is there a plan in terms of, I mean, are you asking the court that you can get out at any point, prior to the end of that extension if things continue to go well?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so you don't necessarily have to go to the end of the extension with Mary, is that right?
Correct.
All right. And Mary has provided you all the information necessary in order for Luke to start having these visits, correct?
Yes, ma'am. She did start giving me a plan of what would happen if Luke did get back, as far as school, housing, who would take care of him, things like that. And I did get her mother's information as well. She had sent that to me. I ran the background checks, all cleared.
Great. And are you willing to assist her with trying to get any subsidies that she may qualify to help her afford the daycare or housing?
We can try what we can do. Whatever. Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
if we
but
can do it, we can try.
If you can provide her with documentation, you're willing to do so if that'll assist her financially.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Pass the witness.
Mr. Barfield?
No questions of this witness, Your Honor. We'll try to get the information he needs in the breakout.
Okay, Ms. Grant?
Mr. Ryan, in cooperating with providing her with information for any assistance she's eligible for with a child, it's also part of our agreement that the department is no longer providing financial support, correct?
Correct.
So Mary will move forward and do those support items on her own and qualify on her own with your assistance with the paperwork and information, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Pass the witness, Judge.
All right. Sean, Mr. Downen's visitation will be continued suspended until he provides a negative what? Hair strand, UA, or both?
I would say UA.
Okay.
But yes, sir.
All right. Has anybody calculated the new dismissal date? Would it be 180 days from today? I'm not sure.
I think, yes, Judge, I believe it would be 180 days from today. I think technically it could be 180 days from placement, but I think 180 days from today is appropriate. And then hopefully by the next review hearing, we would be able to have a.
Y'all can figure that out. You can figure that out.
Okay.
It'd be sometime in August. I know that sometime, probably a little after August 20. Anyway, I'll tell you, I will go ahead. I'm going to approve your agreement here in a minute, but let me see. I was looking. I think we'd have to have our next perm hearing by June 23rd. I've already got some things off of today's docket. We're setting for June 22nd. So I'll just set a perm hearing for June 22nd. Okay, let me go ahead then. Ms. Grant, I haven't gotten your recommendation, but I assume you're on board with all this.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm in agreement with the suggested plan.
Okay, all right then. Okay, I will approve that plan. I will continue the department's temporary managed and conservator, order a transition monitored return of Luke to Ms. Farrer. I'll order that Mr. Downen's visitation continue to be suspended until he provides a negative UA drug screen. I will then set a perm hearing for June 22nd. That will be by Zoom, just like today's hearing, so parties can ask their lawyers or anybody can go on the court's online docket a day or two before June 22nd to see what time we'll have that hearing. That's way you won't be sitting in the waiting room too long. Now, as far as the question that was raised, if everybody agrees that we do not need to go through the entire transition monitored return, I'll be happy to either set a final earlier, or I'll be happy to sign an agreed order if everybody signs off on it. So, all right, this was our
Judge,
last.
if I may, we had asked for drug screening, but I know today by 4 would be difficult. We would still ask that Mr. Downen be ordered to drug screen within a reasonable.
Well, y'all tell me what's reasonable. I don't know where he lives or who does the screening or.
Sean, what would be easier to say that he drug screened this week at the direction of the department, or as soon as possible? What would you prefer?
Yes, ma'am. I would want it to still remain randomized, so I don't want to give a specific day. But yes.
Well, I'll order him to do it by a certain day, and then from then on out, of course, it will continue to be random.
Judge, why don't we say this week?
Yeah.
I could have a referral also in as early as tomorrow.
Okay. Well, let's just say 4 p.m. tomorrow. I don't know where it would be if he's truly in Lubbock. I don't know who does it there, but
yes, sir.
Y'all work that out when I put you in the breakout room for now. And then, Mr. Downen, I'm ordering you to give Mr. Ryan any information he's requesting today, where you're living, anything he asks you. You need to start cooperating with him. So.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, I'll just add to my previous ruling that Mr. Downen will drug screen by 4 p.m. tomorrow. Mr. Ryan, do you want UA or UA and hair?
Both, sir, please.
Okay. Okay, so I'll add that to my previous ruling. All right. Let's see, we've announced the next hearing. So, all right, I appreciate y'all working that out. This was our last hearing for the day, so we'll be in recess, and everybody have a good week. Thank you once again for working it out. Yeah. All right. Thank y'all.
Breakout room, Judge.
Thank you.
Oh, breakout room. That's right.
Don't go anywhere, Kelton.
You would have been by yourself again, Brooks.
That's okay. That's how people like me most of the time.
I wasn't gonna say that.
Yeah, you were thinking it.
I'll leave this open. I'll just watch when y'all drop off. I will then shut down the feed. Let me get Sean. Okay, I got it set up for you three. So just drop off and then I'll close up the Zoom. Amy, thank you.
Thanks, Judge. I don't know when I'm seeing you.
I think next week.
Not till next Monday. Okay. Have a good week.
Oh, you too.
Amy, I'll send those times. I saw your email. I've been swamped today, but I will send them in just a few minutes.
Yeah, it's just whenever. I just realized February's almost over, which I can't really believe.
I know. That's where I'm at. I'm like, March already?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
See ya.